My Republican colleagues say they want to unleash America's workforce, but actions speak louder than words. If you really want to know where they stand, don't just listen to what they say. Look at what they're doing. As we sit here in this committee, we're witnessing the Republican administration dismantle the federal workforce in real time. There have been legally questionable buyout offers, funding freezes, stop work orders. More than 30,000 workers have been laid off indiscriminately. The administration has been demonizing federal employees, convincing the public that government workers are somehow the enemy, as all part of a major grift. The architects designing these policies aren't everyday workers, and you need to know that. They're billionaires and corporate executives. They're members of the ultra elite who extract wealth, resources, and labor from working class communities. These are the folks who stand to gain from slashing wages, gutting public services, and hoarding wealth. And that's exactly what they're doing. Last night, House Republicans voted to adopt a budget blueprint that would hand out $4.5 trillion in massive tax cuts for the ultra-wealthy, paid for by cutting vital programs that keep working families afloat: Medicaid, SNAP, Head Start. More than 38 million people across the country, including 3 million people in the Keystone State, rely on Medicaid and CHIP for their health care. Dr. Schierholtz, how will America's workforce be unleashed, as my colleagues say, by Republicans' budget, which provides more than $4.5 trillion in tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations?
Oh, I am on. Okay, yeah, this unleashing is not going to happen because of this House budget. The draconian cuts to health care and food assistance for children and families will hurt millions of workers. That is not an unleashing. It will weaken our economy. Those cuts, as you said, they're being made to make fiscal space for tax cuts that will go overwhelmingly to this country's wealthiest households, just like the TCJA did. Like just to put some numbers on this, the TCJA, it will give the top 1% in 2025, the top 1% will get $60,000 in tax cuts as a result of the TCJA. The middle class, less than $1,000. The lower class, less than $100. It is just overwhelmingly favoring the wealthy.
Thank you, Doug. So just to be clear, do you believe that these tax breaks will decrease the income, the wealth inequality, or increase it?
It will unambiguously increase it. When you put the tax breaks that overwhelmingly favor the very, very wealthy, combined with the tax cuts that reduce the incomes of the most vulnerable households, it is literally taking food out of the mouths of poor children. I mean, not literally, but to line the pockets of the very wealthiest households in this country.
Thank you. The truth is, Republicans don't want to unleash the workforce. They want to destroy it and replace it with an economy that only works for the wealthy. And that's proven further by the administration's actions to undermine civil rights protections across the workforce. Over the summer, President Trump went viral talking about black jobs. But one of the first acts as president was to rescind federal anti-discrimination hiring rules and eliminate funding for workplace diversity programs. Black Americans make up approximately 20% of the federal workforce because so many of us grew up knowing the value of securing what we called good government jobs. These jobs aren't just stable and provide fair pay. They've long been a pathway to overcoming discrimination in the private sector and to begin building economic security. By attacking both the federal workforce and civil rights protections, the Trump administration is actively reversing the progress, not just for black workers, but for all workers across the country who have made it in the fight for economic equality. Dr. Schierholtz, is discrimination against workers good for the economy?
It is, okay, you know that is whether it's good for the broader economy is not the key metric that I care about when it comes to discrimination, but no, it is not good for the economy. One of the ways it holds back in the economy is by not letting people realize their full potential. It reduces productivity and is a drag on growth.
Thank you. You know what they say, a high tide lifts all ships. To be mindful of time, I just want to say one more time, actions speak louder than words. Do not listen to what they're saying, see what they're doing. So to recap, Republicans aren't trying to unleash anything. They're dismantling it, destabilizing working families, and concentrating even more power in the hands of billionaires and corporations who have a vested interest in undermining worker power. cutting critical programs, upending vital projects. A strong workforce is the foundation of a strong economy, but their policies are making jobs less stable, wages lower, and opportunities scarcer for all people, especially marginalized people. We cannot afford to let it go unchecked. Thank you. I yield back.